Hello, my name is Stacy. Welcome to the Wild Yarrow Apothecaries podcast, where we focus mainly on herbalism, but we also talk about all things holistic health. So grab a cup of herbal tea and enjoy the show. Hello, and welcome to this podcast episode where we are going to be talking about 11 surprising things about healing the nervous system. Before we really get into this episode, I do want to give a disclaimer that I am not a medical professional. This is all for educational purposes only. This is all things that I learned through healing my own nervous system and working with other people and their nervous system. So yeah. Um, so when it comes to healing, period, I feel like there are so many misconceptions and surprising things that kind of pop up. You're like, oh, I didn't know this was going to happen, or oh, I was told this, but it's actually this instead. And this, like I said, can happen with the whole body, but it can also happen with just the nervous system as well. And I thought, why not just specifically talk about the nervous system today? I do want to say that a lot, well, not a lot, but a few of the things that we're going to talk about today are going to overlap each other because when it comes to healing and especially the nervous system, everything is so intertwined. And so yeah. All right, let's get started. So we have 11 surprising things. Some of them, like I said, are going to be misconceptions. Some of them are just going to be like, oh, I never thought of that. And so, yeah, all right. The number one, I think this is like a huge misconception, especially when it comes to like if someone is experiencing anxiety or depression. If someone is stressed out, people always say, hey, it's all in your head, but it's not. It's not all in your head. Some of it can be. We do a lot of like mindset work, and that helps. I do think that therapy can help. Um, but not completely. I think that there's other things that need to come into play that helps more the physical part of the body and the nervous system. Well, if you have like anxiety or depression and other nervous system issues, especially like multiple sclerosis, neuropathy, nerve pain, all of that, that's nervous system related too. And all of this can be affected by very physical things. So, um, nutrition, I talk about nutrition a lot, but nutrition matters. Nutrition affects our whole body, including our nervous system. Our nervous system has our nerves and our brain. And if we're eating horrible food, this can affect our nerves and our brain. Also, the immune system, the adrenal glands. I said immune system. Actually, I usually don't bring up the immune system because not a lot of people think about the immune system. But the more that I research, I actually think that the nervous system and the um, ner or the immune system, the two are uh, secret best friends and they're very connected with each other. But what I more meant to say is hormones. So hormones and the adrenal glands, if they are out of whack, if they're not being fully supported, this can cause issues with the nervous system as well. And food can definitely cause trouble with the hormones and the adrenal glands. Also, vitamin and mineral deficiencies. I know that there are people that are probably getting really tired of me talking about vitamin and mineral deficiencies. But it's so important. It is so, so important. So important that I think last March-ish, was it April or March? I can't remember. I did a video, or not a video, a podcast episode all about the importance of vitamins and minerals because it's so important. And even if you're like, but Stacy, I take a multivitamin. That's great. Keep doing it. I'm all for it. But even though you may be taking a multivitamin, this doesn't mean that your body is absorbing these vitamins and minerals properly. Um, and you still might have deficiencies even if you're taking a multivitamin. I highly recommend to find a way to get a full panel of vitamins and mineral um, a full panel. Doctors sometimes will do like they'll test like five vitamins and minerals, and I'm like, no, we need a full panel done. So find a way. I highly recommend that. I recently worked with a client that she was eating food that was high in iron. She was trying to, get iron in her body. And then she went and got a full panel of vitamin and mineral deficiency test done. And it came out that even though she was eating a very high iron diet, she still had a deficiency in iron, and it was because her body wasn't absorbing iron properly. And so we had to put her on a different supplement. So um, kind of keep that in mind that our bodies sometimes do not absorb vitamins and minerals properly. So it's really important to get that all tested. And then another physical thing is, yes, stress. So if we're stressed, um, this can cause lots of inflammation. I don't think we realize how much stress can impact our body, but stress can definitely impact our body in so many ways. And so, if you're stressed, this can cause inflammation, a lot of inflammation in the body, and that also can inhibit absorption of nutrients. But not only that, stress can also deplete us of certain nutrients. So it's really important to try to manage our stress, which I think we're going to talk more about this later on in the episode. But um, the nervous system can be a very physical thing. And I do think that some of it can be in your head, but not all of it. Some of it can be very, very physical, like what are you eating? Oh, and movement. Movement is super important. I might do another episode on this maybe in a few weeks, but I have been researching fascia, FASCIA. So fascia. This is webbing that we have throughout our body. It's like a connective tissue, and it looks kind of like spider webs that are just go throughout our whole body. And it really helps us to move comfortably. But there are three things that can affect a fascia. Well, let's say three and a half. A dysregulated nervous system, a congested lymphatic system, perimenopause, and the other one is dehydration. So, um, but the biggest ones that most people have to worry about is their nervous system and their lymphatic system. And when the nervous system is dysregulated or the lymphatic system is congested, it can make the fascia in our body dehydrated. So we do want to make sure that we're also keeping hydration in our body. But we want to make sure that we're having plenty of vitamins and minerals in our body to keep our fascia hydrated. I want to do a whole because I could talk about this topic for a while. So I'm going to stop right there. But fascia is a very physical part of our body that is affected by our nervous system. So, all right, let's go to number two. The nervous system won't start to heal until you're safe. And then it might even freak out before it does heal. Let me tell you the story. Um, In my life, I feel like I had a lot of trauma, a lot of drama, a lot of drama. Like I feel like I've had in the first like 34 years of my life, I had more drama in my life than I needed in like 10 lifetimes. Like a lot of drama. I had some trauma, so I did have some traumatic experiences, and a whole lot of stress. And I didn't feel safe for the first 34 years of my life. I just did not feel safe. And I don't want to get into it because it's more of a private thing, but um, I will say this, I was taught not to feel safe. Like I was taught that the world was a very scary place. And then I did have to make a very heartbreaking decision. About 12 years ago, I had to make a very heartbreaking decision. But that heartbreaking decision um, made me feel safe. It made me feel safe even though it was heartbreaking. And I think what happened was my nervous system was like, oh my goodness, okay, now we're safe. Like my nervous system, the whole time I was dealing with drama, trauma, stress, my nervous system held it together. It really like it was trying its best to hold it together. And then when I made that decision that I needed to be safe, I needed to feel safe, then my nervous system was like, okay, good. Now we could freak the heck out. Now we're safe enough to freak the heck out. And I developed severe anxiety. I do think a part of that was because my body wasn't strong enough to handle stress. So I think that if I had good nutrition and if I was trying to um, take care of myself, I think the freak out would have maybe been at least decreased by half. Um, like I don't think I would have freaked out as much, but um, it it did freak out first. And then the more that I felt safe, the more that I convinced my nervous system that it was safe, the more my nervous system got regulated, then the more that my nervous system healed. And so you have to feel safe. You have to be in a safe environment, which we're going to be talking about that more later too. But you have to feel safe for that. And sometimes, a lot of times, actually, a lot of times, people um, they have a traumatic experience, and then the traumatic experience is done, and then they're in a safe position, they're in a safe situation, but their body is still stuck in that traumatic emotion. And they're still stuck in that feeling unsafe, even though they are safe. And so and I know this is going to sound woo-woo, but I think that there is science behind it. But I like to rewire the brain. I love the brain. Oh my gosh, what the brain does just fascinates me. It just fascinates me. And um, when um but what we tell our brain, it believes. Our belief our I can't speak all of a sudden. Too many thoughts going on in my head. I get this way sometimes when I get really excited about what I'm talking about. I'm like, oh my gosh, too many thoughts, and I start stumbling over my words. But our brain believes what we tell it. So if you tell your brain over and over again, I am stressed, I am stressed, I am stressed, guess what? You're going to be stressed. If you tell your brain over and over again, I am sick, I am sick, I am sick, guess what? You're going to be sick. But if you tell your brain all like often, and it's going to take time, it's going to take some time because how long have you been telling your brain that you're stressed, or how long have you been telling your brain that you're sick, or how long have you been telling your brain that you're unhealthy? Um, So it's going to take some time to really convince it. But I love to do affirmations. I like to tell myself these affirmations, but I like to write them down as well. So I used to do, I am safe. I am safe. I feel like I am safe. I would look around the room and be like, I see that I am safe. Or also, my nervous system is safe to heal. My muscles are safe to relax. My jaw is safe to unclench. My digestive system is safe to digest food because the nervous system and the digestive system are connected together. And a lot of times if we are stressed, our digestive system is stressed too. So I like to give some loves to my digestive system as well. We are safe. Your nervous system needs to feel safe before it can start to heal. But first, like I said, it might freak out a little bit first. Because it's like, oh my gosh, we've been holding it together for so long. And now that we're safe, we have to freak out first. And so, um, yeah. All right. Let's go to number three. So number three, this kind of goes along the same line as two, but things may get worse before they get better. Um, there's something that I was taught in school, and what's interesting is I have heard two different definitions for this, but I love both definitions, so I will talk about both definitions. But healing crisis, I don't know if you ever heard about healing crisis, but I've heard it be explained in two ways. And one way is that things get worse before they get better. Have you ever it, tried to quit caffeine? So that's the first way that the easiest way that I can explain this is um, it's kind of like if you drink a ton of caffeine and then you're like, okay, I need to quit, and then you get that headache, you get that withdrawal headache. So you get worse before you get better. A lot of people when they start to eat really healthy, they get like flu-like symptoms, and this can be because their body is detoxing. Same thing with the nervous system. So things can get worse before they get better. Like I was telling you guys with number two, that my nervous system freaked out before it started healing. I think that that is perfectly normal. Um, and then the second way that have heard it, the healing crisis being explained, is that our bodies like to be sick with one thing at a time. And so what happens is um, when we start to heal, something else might pop up, and then something else might pop up, and then something else might pop up, and um, it's kind of like, and I feel like especially our nervous system does this, and I almost feel like our nervous system is kind of like an onion. Let's give this analogy here. So you know how you have an onion and you have layers, and you pull back one layer, and then there's another layer, and you're like, okay, then you pull back another layer, and then another one pops up. Well, this could be with the nervous system as well. One of the biggest things that really, showed me this is I was healing my nervous system, and unfortunately, perimenopause, I feel like has been a little bit messing with my nervous system. Nothing compared to like it was 10, 11 years ago, but it's just like a hint messing with my nervous system. And it brought me some migraines. Unfortunately, I was doing so well with not getting migraines, but then perimenopause brought me some, and I'm like, dang it. But I have this theory. I have this theory that one of the biggest causes for migraines is the liver. I think a stagnant liver can definitely cause migraines. But this whole thing also showed me with healing my nervous system and trying to heal my migraines during perimenopause is that um, the nervous system has a lot to play for migraines as well. And the more that I tackle my nervous system during perimenopause, um, the less now that I'm getting the migraines, but not only that, but the severity and the duration of my migraines has drastically reduced, like drastically has reduced. And it's more, and you might be like, okay, but what about hormones? You're in perimenopause, and that could bring migraines as well. I still believe that when it's connected to hormones, that it's still a liver issue, because our liver is in charge of filtering out toxins and unwanted pathogens, but also excess hormones. So our liver might not be able to do that. But I think that my liver is okay. I think I'm more battling with the nervous system part of it at the moment. But things with the nervous system might pop up, and you might be like, oh, I healed this one part, but then this other part popped up, and that's okay. That is normal. And it's just kind of like part of the journey for healing the nervous system. I hope that all makes sense. All right, let's go to number four, and this kind of overlaps with number three as well. But you may get really tired when you are like in the depths of healing your nervous system. So when you are like knee deep in healing the nervous system, you may get really tired and you may want to do nothing. And that is normal. That is normal. It's almost kind of like the nervous system is saying, hey, we have been living a very chaotic, very stressful life. And to heal, I can't, it's like the nervous system can't heal the body when you're in a very chaotic, stressful part. And I know when I was doing some really deep nervous system healing, I didn't want to do a thing. All I wanted to do was sit on the couch and read a book. That was it. I didn't want to do anything that I normally enjoyed doing. And I know that that's a sign of depression, but I didn't feel depressed. I did not feel depressed. I felt happy. I felt content, but I also felt like I don't want to do anything. I am so tired. Now, what I did do though, because movement is still important, is I still made sure that I was getting movement, but gentle movement. So I would go for small walks, or I would do stretching or yoga, or maybe a small hike, something that was easy for the body, but I was still getting movement because movement, like I said, is so important. But if you're like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to heal my nervous system and now I'm like so tired, that's normal. That is normal. Um, and your nervous system is forcing you to be calm. It's kind of like we need calm to be able to heal. We had enough chaoticness, we had enough stress, we've had enough, just we've just had enough, and we need calm and relaxation now. So yeah. All right, number five, excuse me. Number five, we have a lot of like I think mold spores in the air right now because we had a lot of rain and now things are drying out, and I am a little bit allergic to mold. I always get like a little bit of the sniffles and a little bit of a cough right after a rain, and so I had a teeny bit of a cough there. Give me just a moment. That is something else I'm trying to heal right now. I'm trying to heal my pollen and mold allergies. I'm hoping that maybe in a year or two I could say I did it. So stay tuned for that. So, um, all right. So number five is your interests may change, your priorities might change, and you might peace might be a priority for you once you heal your nervous system. I almost feel like even when you have a regulated nervous system, when you heal your nervous system, your body doesn't crave chaos anymore. Your body doesn't crave adrenaline. This may be different for some people. There might be some exceptions for this, but I think for the most part, people might be craving calmness, peace. So, um, for example, hold on, I just want to make sure um, I can talk about this here because I have an outline. Yeah, I'll talk about this here. So, um, I've never been one to really be really excited to go to stores. I've never been one to be really excited to go to concerts. I've never been one to get really excited about, going to where there was a lot of people. But I used to anyways. I used to go to these places anyways, and I would be okay until I had my severe anxiety. When I got my severe anxiety, the thought of like really flashing lights, like really overstimulated me. Being around like really loud noises really overstimulated me. Being around a bunch of people really overstimulated me. And now that I healed, I don't feel like I am overstimulated by these things anymore, but I don't enjoy them. Like I don't enjoy flashing lights. I don't enjoy really loud noises. I don't enjoy being around a ton of people. And I think that that's okay. I think that somehow my severe anxiety and my very dysregulated nervous system, once I healed, kind of taught me what I want and what I don't want. And maybe you're different, and if you're different, that's fine. Maybe you have a dysregulated nervous system, and when you regulate it, then you're going to be like, okay, I actually enjoy going to concerts. I enjoy shopping. I enjoy a little bit of chaos. And excuse me. And that is okay. But there are some people that might not enjoy that. And for a while, I was like, oh my gosh, does this mean that I still have a dysregulated nervous system? If I don't enjoy being out in crowds, if I don't enjoy flashing lights, if I don't enjoy really loud noises. And I was thinking, no, I think I was always that way, but I just never paid attention. I think I just never thought about it. And my body kind of taught me, no, these are things you actually really don't enjoy. I don't know if that makes sense. So I enjoy peace. I enjoy quiet. Oh my gosh, I had someone once tell me, people who say that they don't like drama, they're lying, that they actually really do like drama. But when it comes to me, that is furthest from the truth. I hate with a capital H, hate drama. I will go the different direction that I see drama. I hate drama. I've had enough of it in my life, and drama is just. It is not for me. My husband even tells me all the time, he's like, yeah, you are not into drama. I hate it. I want peace. I want calm. I want relaxation. I want to be out in nature. I want to touch trees and get fresh air and, absorb the sun. I think I am solar powered. I need the sun. And so I love being on water, like in lakes, being at the beach. I am more a nature girl than going to stores or going to concerts or anything like that. And so it really, healing my nervous system really showed me what my priorities are. And so maybe healing your nervous system will really show you what your priorities are. All right, let's go to number six. You cannot heal in the environment that keeps your nervous system dysregulated. So if you are in a very stressful situation, if you're in a very bad relationship, if you are um, at a really bad job, um, if you feel like your job, your relationship, um, your house, maybe your house is falling apart. Um, you can't heal your dysregulated nervous system. So I would find a way to change that. Maybe if you have a relationship that is bringing you lots of stress, maybe first try to talk with that person or maybe get therapy, counseling. Um, and I hate to say this because I hate giving like relationship advice, so take this with a grain of salt. But if you find that you are stressed and you've already talked to them, you already tried like counseling or whatever, and nothing worked, maybe that relationship should end. Um, I hate saying things like that just because I've said things like that in the past and I've gotten people mad at me. And I just don't like talking about relationships. But if you're in a job that is, sucking your soul out, maybe look for another job. Don't quit your job yet. I think it's important that we just don't quit because people need money. But maybe look for a job and maybe look for um, or a better job, maybe look for going to school, maybe find out what is your passion, um, what um, what would you rather be doing, Um, so yeah, I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. But you cannot heal in a place that is dysregulating your nervous system. And sometimes, though, I do want to point this out, though. One thing, to play devil's advocate, I love playing devil's advocate. Let's say, though, that your relationship, that it's actually okay, your job is actually okay, but sometimes the human brain, actually not sometimes, a lot of the times, we take things for granted. We don't see the happy, positive side. So maybe you have to look in and look and truly, really look at it. Like, is this toxic or um, am I just seeing it toxic? Am I not seeing the positive sides? So really kind of, do some soul searching yourself and be like, okay, can I think about this more positively? Can I think about this more? Can I be more grateful? Can I be more grateful for this relationship? Can I be more grateful for my job? Um, and sometimes it's going to be no. Sometimes it's going to be no, but sometimes it could be yes. So really, dig deep into your soul and be like, okay, is this really toxic or am I just seeing it as toxic? Does that make sense? So maybe um, because we take things for granted, the human brain easily takes things for granted, and maybe your relationship is actually okay and good, but you're taking it for granted, or maybe your job is okay, but you're just taking it for granted. So, um, just play little devil's advocates, and only you are going to know if it's truly toxic or if you're taking it for granted. I hope that makes sense. Okay, let's go to number seven. Um, this one's kind of tough love. I'm gonna give you some tough love. This is kind of a harsh one. But even though your dysregulated nervous system is probably not your fault, it is your responsibility to heal. It sucks. It sucks. But it is your responsibility to heal your nervous system, even though your nervous system being dysregulated is not your fault. Maybe you went through something trauma. Maybe you were abused, and you're like the abusive person should be the one responsibility or I can't speak today. Sorry about this, guys. Let's try this again. Even though um, the it's the abusive person's responsibility to heal me, they're not going to. They're not going to. They don't know how to. Abusive people are usually very broken themselves and they don't know how to heal. They don't know how to heal themselves, then they're definitely not going to know how to heal you. So it is your responsibility to heal yourself. It's your responsibility to um, to take care of yourself. It's your responsibility to, make sure you're eating good food, that you're getting plenty of vitamins and minerals, that you're changing your mindset, that you're just in general just taking care of yourself. And I know that that sucks. I know that you're like, but I wasn't the one that that caused the drama. I wasn't the one, or more than likely, that you weren't the one to cause all the drama or the stress. But it is unfortunately, even though it wasn't your fault, it's your responsibility. No one else can heal you. You're the only person that can heal yourself. And I say this all the time. I think that I'm a healer. So I say that I'm a healer, but to myself. I heal myself. I am nobody else's healer. I am a guide to help other people become their own healers. That is who I am. So we need to heal ourselves, and take care of ourselves. Um, and yeah. All right, let's go to number 8. Um, After you heal your nervous system, because a lot of times, like I mentioned in number 4, so number 4, a lot of times when we heal, our bodies demand calm, right? Our bodies demand calm. But sometimes after we heal, we need to give our bodies like mini trainings, like little mini to be able to handle excitement. I, for a while, was having a really hard time even being like super happy and excited. Like if I got super happy or excited, my body would react in a very negative way because my body was like, no, we can't handle this excitement right now. We need calm. So I gave my body calm for a while, and then I had to do like little mini trainings, like almost like micro dosing. Excitement, microdosing, like being like super happy, microdosing, stressful moments, and like just a little bit here and there, and gradually increasing and increasing and increasing it. And it's weird that this has to happen, but the human body is so interesting. It's so weird, and excuse me. But it is so weird that it does this, but we need to kind of retrain our body that no, excitement is okay. Our bodies are safe to be excited, because sometimes the body gets a little confused, and sometimes the excitement can have the same effect on the body as fear. And sometimes when we're excited, we don't breathe properly. And so our bodies are like, oh my gosh, we're excited, but oh my gosh, danger, danger. So we have to retrain our body that no, excitement is okay. So yeah. Um, So it's interesting. The human body is very, very interesting and complex sometimes. All right, number nine. This is corny. This is very, very corny, but healing isn't linear. And I can tell you this from experience for sure. So, for example, let me tell you the story of my non-linear healing. I so about 10, 11 years ago, I had severe anxiety, and then I healed severe anxiety, and it was a process. It was a couple year process. But oh my gosh, 2019 and the beginning of 2020, I was at my healthiest. I was feeling amazing. I was feeling great. I had, I was the most confident I ever was. I was in the best shape of my life, and I'm like, yeah, this is amazing. And I felt absolutely amazing. 2019 into the first half of 2020. Amazing. And then perimenopause came. Perimenopause. And it flipped my health upside down. Um, I was experiencing food sensitivity, skin issues, and a little bit of anxiety. Nothing compared to my severe anxiety. Like my anxiety with perimenopause has been pretty mild, which I will take. But I don't want mild anxiety either. So I have been throwing at anything and everything, and oh my gosh, I almost feel like it was a blessing in disguise, if that makes sense, because it taught me more about how to take care of myself. It taught me more about the nervous system. It taught me so much about myself, the nervous system, healing. And so it's almost like I needed this step backwards to figure out a few more things about myself, my health, and how to really take care of myself. And it was frustrating. I get frustrated sometimes. I still do. Like, I'm like, how could I have been in perfect health in 2019 and the beginning of 2020? And now, I am, struggling, with perimenopause and with some anxiety issues. But it really taught myself how to really take care of myself. It really taught me what I need to do for my body to really have it be healthy, if that makes sense. So it was definitely, like I said, a learning experience and a blessing in disguise. And I think this happens a lot. I think people get really frustrated when they're like, I'm going forward, I'm going forward, I'm going forward, and then we have a setback. And when it comes to health, there is always going to be a setback, always, always, always. So um, there's nothing wrong with a setback. But with myself and my clients, I've had clients that have told me, oh my gosh, Stacey, I was healing and I was doing really well. And then I had a hiccup. I took two steps backwards, but they're like, I needed that two steps backwards. I needed that hiccup because it really, taught me such and such. It really taught me this. And so, sometimes when we have setbacks, they're there for a reason. The setbacks are to teach us something. And so I think healing, being having it not linear, is a blessing in disguise, if that makes sense. So yeah. Um, all right. So number 10. Give me just a moment here. I'm gonna do something. Sorry, I had to pause that just for a second. But number 10 is you are not fragile. I think a lot of people, when they think that their nervous system is dysregulated, that they are fragile. You're not fragile. You're not broken. Although I say you're not broken, I want you to kind of ask yourself, would being broken cause with the thought of you being broken, would it cause you harm or would it make bring you comfort? And let me give you an example. I know you're like, "Well, this is a weird question," but let me give you an example. So uh, about 10, 11 years ago, I hit rock bottom mentally, rock bottom, and I felt so broken. But I took comfort in that I feel broken. I took comfort and I'm like, oh my gosh, I am broken. So because I am broken, I can rebuild myself into a much stronger, better version of myself. And that is what I've been doing ever since. And I'm way, I think better and stronger than I was before I had my severe anxiety. Um, I am more confident and I want to keep growing. I hope this doesn't sound like an oxymoron, but I'm in this place where I have self-acceptance, where I accept myself for who I am, but at the same time, I always want to grow. I always want to try to better myself. And that's part of who I am. That's part of who I am. So I'm self-accepting that I always want to grow. And so this is something that I'm always going to be working on is how can I make my body as happy and healthy as possible? How can I make my mindset as strong as possible? And so, um, and also think about it this way. Have you ever, and I don't know what the correct term is for this, so I do apologize, but have you ever seen the broken bowls in Japan? So the Japanese has this thing that if a bowl breaks, they put it back together again, but with gold. They put it together back together with gold, and that is such an amazing symbolic. So if you feel broken, put yourself back together with gold, like the people in Japan do. Now, if you're like, but Stacy, I just can't handle feeling like I am broken, that's okay. You don't have to. I just took comfort in it, but you might not feel comfort in it. But I did. But I do want to say that you are not fragile. You are strong. And the problem of why there are so many people right now with dysregulated nervous systems is we have not been taught how to properly take care of ourselves. We eat, or not we, because I don't anymore, but most people eat horribly. So most people eat horrible. Most people have a stationary lifestyle. Most people are constantly talking bad about themselves, thinking bad about themselves. And we've been taught that if we um, think highly of ourselves, that we're selfish or vain. If we take care of ourselves, we're selfish or vain. But this is not true. This is not true whatsoever. If you do not take care of yourself, you're probably a scatterbrained mess. You're probably frazzled. You probably can't think straight. You probably are getting sick often. And when these happen, when you're scatterbrained, when you can't think straight, when you're sick, you can't take care of your responsibilities properly. So it's really important to take care of yourself so you can take care of your responsibilities properly. How are you going to take care of your responsibilities if you're sick? Well, how are you going to take care of your responsibilities if you are a frazzled mess and you're scatterbrained and you can't think right? How are you going to take care of your responsibilities? But when you do take care of yourself, you can take care of your responsibilities properly. I know this is corny. A lot of healing the nervous system is very, very corny. But You need to fill your cup and not just fill your cup, but overflow your cup. So when you overflow your cup, the overflowingness can be the responsibilities that you need to take care of. Now, another thing, egotistical people, I think are is highly misunderstood. I think we we don't see egotistical people for what they really are. So, in my opinion, in my strong opinion, um, I don't feel like I said that right. I strongly, strongly believe in what I'm about to say, but I believe that egotistical people are very insecure people who pretend that they are all that and a bag of chips. So egotistical people are, they pretend that they are all that. They pretend that they are God's gift to the world. They pretend that um, they are confident, but they're actually very insecure people and they try to put people down. Happy, happy, happy people, people who are truly confident, people who are truly secure. They don't try to bring people down. You know that saying, misery loves company? Miserable people bring people down. Pe People who are egotistical, they are miserable. They are trying to bring people down to their level. But okay, so the saying misery loves company, the same happens for people who are happy. Happy, confident, secure people. I know this is going to sound mean, but it is true. But happy, secure, confident people do not want to be around miserable people. They want to be around other happy, confident, secure people. So people who are truly happy, people who are truly confident, people who are truly secure, people who are truly taking care of themselves, they want other people to do the same thing. They are trying to bring people up. So, it's really important for, and again, corny, but you want self-love. If you truly love yourself, that's fine. I don't see what's wrong with people saying, "Hey, I love myself. Hey, I'm beautiful. Hey, I'm amazing." But guess what? So are you. You're beautiful. You're amazing. You are, you know, all of these amazing things, but I am too. I don't think that's vain. I don't think it's vain to say, you know what, I'm freaking amazing. You are too. And like I said, happy, confident, secure people are trying to bring other people to their level because it's the opposite of misery loves company. Happy people want company. Happy people, um, or secure people want company. Um, and so it's just, I think people want other people to match their energy. And so it's okay to be happy. It's okay to take care of yourselves. It's okay to heal. It's not selfish whatsoever. And maybe you could lead by example. That's another thing that I try to do, is I try to lead by example. Hey, I'm healing myself. I have healed a good portion of myself. Why don't you come with me? Come join me. I am truly happy. Do I have sad moments? Of course. Do I have stressful moments? Of course. But I am genuinely happy. Come be happy with me. I love myself. I know that sounds corny, but I do. And I invite you to love yourselves. I really, really invite you to. And so I hope that all makes sense, but it's energy, like people want their same energy, and it really is sad for like the miserable egotistical people. They are bringing people down because they want you to match their energy. Truly happy, confident, secure people want other happy, confident, secure people with them. So it is okay. It's not selfish. It's not vain. So yeah. All right. Let's go to 11. This is my favorite one. This is the one that I think that most people um, misunderstand. So this is the biggest misunderstanding one. And that is even though someone has a regulated nervous system, they can still be stressed, they can still be anxious, and they can still be overstimulated. We're human. We are human. So stress um, is going to happen no matter how regulated your nervous system is. Stress is still going to happen. No matter how regulated your nervous system is, you're still going to get emotion because, or I'm sorry, you're still going to get anxious because it's a human emotion. You're still going to get overstimulated from time to time. And that's okay because it's a human emotion. The difference between a dysregulated nervous system and a regulated nervous system is how fast you recover. So let's say, for example, you are talking to a friend and you have a minor disagreement with that friend. A dysregulated nervous system is going to think about that minor disagreement all day, all day. They probably won't get sleep at night because they'll be thinking about that issue all freaking night. And they may think about it still when they wake up in the morning. That is a dysregulated nervous system. A regulated nervous system is going to be like, darn, this. Minor disagreement, it really, really upset me. And they're going to honor their feelings. They're going to be like, that really upset me. I really don't want to have a minor disagreement with the friend. Maybe they'll even try to figure out a way to talk it out, or maybe they'll just accept it. They'll just accept, this friend and I, we have different opinions, and that's okay. And then they'll go on with their life. So they might be upset for like a half an hour to an hour, and then they'll recover. So it's more of a how fast can you recover from being stressed, anxious, overstimulated. I have kind of an example that I'm not going to go into details on, but October, oh my gosh, October was when it rains, it pours type of month. And I had something happen in my life. And in the past, when my nervous system was dysregulated, this thing that happened in October would have devastated me. I would have been absolutely devastated. And I would have thought about it for weeks, probably. I would have been like, oh my goodness. I cannot believe that this happened. But with my nervous system being regulated, I was like, ooh, that stung. That kind of stung. But I'm okay, I'm fine. And I did kind of freak out a little bit because I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I called a family member and I'm like, hey, help me walk through this. Um, this thing happened in the past, it would have devastated me, but today it's kind of stinging, but more, I just don't know where to go from here. Help me figure out where to go. And she talked to me and all was good. All was good after that. So, I think also having a regulated nervous system is being okay with calling people and saying, hey, I need help. I need to talk this out. So help me. And so yeah, so even someone with a regulated nervous system, they can still get stressed, still get anxious, still get overstimulated, but it doesn't run their life. They recover really quickly. And someone who has a dysregulated nervous system, they do not recover quickly. It's on their minds forever, and they probably lose sleep over it. So yeah. All right. So I hope that this all made sense. I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. Um, I just I think sometimes people get discouraged when they're healing because it's not Healing isn't sunshines and rainbows and butterflies. It gets messy. Healing is a very messy, all over the place thing, and it can make us feel like we're taking three steps forwards, two steps back, three steps forwards, two steps back, and that's fine. And so healing's very messy, it's very complex, and so and you could have good days, you could have bad days, and that's okay. So this was something that I just really wanted to talk about. So yeah, all right, so I'm going to hop off this episode in a moment, and I am going to go record a podcast episode for a bonus podcast episode for the membership, all about nervine tropho restoratives. So these are herbs that are really restoring to the nervous system. So, so yeah, if you're interested, come join our membership so you can listen to our bonus podcast episode. All right, guys, let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns, and yeah, I hope you have a great day. All right, guys, bye. I hope you loved this episode. If you did, please make sure to follow Wild Yarrow Apothecaries podcast on your favorite podcast platform and leave me a review. Do you want to hear more about this episode? Join our Herb of the Month membership, where I add a bonus part of this episode. In this membership, we also have a lot of PDF files, a lot of videos, and every 3 months that you are a member, I send you 3 herbs, and there's so many more benefits. Come check it out. Come nerd out with us. And thank you for listening to the Wild Yarrow Apothecaries podcast, and have a great day.